Okay, let's get the annoying part over with and talk to him.
Are you here from the agency? It's about time.
No, I'm Nancy Drew, a friend of Linda's.
How do you do? I'm Nigel Mukherjee. I'm researching the Penvillen family, and Mrs. Drake has graciously opened the library for me. Nothing much has been written about the Penvillens. Until now.
Why do you think that is?
It might have something to do with their scandalous history. Or perhaps it has something to do with the family treasure.
Family treasure?
For centuries, the Penvillens have been very secretive. Some believe they're protectors of a fabulous treasure, or of some dark secret. There are several skeletons rattling about in the Penvillen closet. Take, for example, Eleanor Penvillen, tried and convicted of witchcraft in 1650. Quite the height of the witch trials here in Essex. It was rumored that Cromwell arranged the conviction.
Cromwell?
Oliver Cromwell? Ironsides? I suppose they don't teach history any longer in the U.S. Lady Penvillen was a rather vocal critic of Cromwell's policies and helped many of his enemies flee the country. Whether she actually was a practitioner of witchcraft is unknown, although many visitors to the manor during her tenure reported hearing strange, ghostly bells. Some even saw phantom hands floating about the manor.
Oh, we have to talk to him about a lot of stuff.
You mentioned some kind of scandal with the Penvillen family?
Well, having a family member burned as a witch can hardly be considered a mark of pride, I dare say. And then there's the whole business with the Blackmoor beast.
Oh
Blackmoor beast?
I hate talking to him.
It's a story that's been told for generations out here. During the
I wish I could skip this all, but some people would get mad at me.
A strange beast with red eyes and giant fangs prowling the moors. They asked the mistress of Blackmoor Manor, Eleanor Penvillen, to put a bounty on the beast's head. But, oddly enough, she not only refused, she forbade anyone from hunting the creature.
It
was rumored that the beast was Eleanor's husband, whom she had cursed for finding out too much about the Penvillen secret.
When I was walking up to the house, I saw something with red eyes that called out to me.
Really? How extraordinary. Are you sure it wasn't just jet lag?
Positive, and I heard it make this
leg,
kind of
not
growling
lag.
sound.
Perhaps it was the cursed husband of Eleanor Penvillen, prowling about the moors in search of lost Yanks.
Very
so
funny.
creepy.
Who are all those paintings of in the Great Hall?
Those are the Penvillens who owned Blackmoor Manor at one time or another.
Have you seen any ruins anywhere in the manor?
You mean like Norse runes? No, I haven't. I don't really know much about them anyway. Dead languages aren't really my bag, you know.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Farewell.
So creepy.
Those are mainly Penelope Penvillen's collections of French novels. She
Did
was
I
a patron
ask
to
you?
a raft of artists, and her salon was quite popular. She was quite the libertine, even kept her maiden name after her marriage.
Do you mind if I use this computer?
No, not at all. But it's very old.
À tes souhaits.
Merci. Interesting. I'm researching.
Oh my god.
And it appears
I don't
that
like
some
you.
scholars believe he was a pirate. That would explain his source of wealth.
I don't like you.
I doubt you'll find much interest in
Jeez,
there.
I hate
They're mainly
Nigel.
law books. Charles Penvillen was a prominent judge in the 16th century.
I don't
Sad to say,
care.
he lost his son at a young age, left his estate to his grandson, Thomas.
If I wanted to learn about the Penvillen family, I would go to Jane.
Those manuscripts are very old and brittle. They date back to the 14th century. Odo Penvillen collected most of them. His father, Randolph, and son Milo were rather more interested in military victories than in book collecting.
Okay, I think that's it. That's it. Oh my gosh, no, I have to look at this thing.
Fascinating piece.
Jesus!
James Penvillen sculpted it in 1591, although it appears that wand was added at a later date. He was quite a flamboyant figure and never married, but one day, a child appeared quite mysteriously and powerful, and he took her in as his own. That was Eleanor, and many of the townfolk believed her to be a changeling or fairy baby.
Oh my god, I just don't want to talk to you, dude. You're annoying me. Ah, finally. Wow. I get so annoyed. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna hold the camera when I have to do that typing test that happens later. Alright.
This must be some kind of well, but what? Doesn't work. Probably because the well's empty.
All settled in? Good. I'm happy that you're visiting Linda, but I know how much you teenagers like your televisions and loud stereos, so I must insist that you act respectfully and civilly while you stay with us. Since my nephew Hugh is away on business, I am in charge of this household. And if there's one thing I cannot stand, it's noise. Hugh's daughter Jane is staying with us and would very much like to meet you, but please try not to distract her. She has her studies and mustn't be disturbed during her lessons.
What is Jane studying?
What every British schoolgirl needs to know. All of her schooling in the States has left her with, shall we say, a cultural deficit.
Hey!
She's in capable hands now.
Is she privately tutored?
Yes, she is. Just as all Penvillans before her. Ethel Bossany comes from a long line of tutors that have taught many generations of Penvillans. Now, please, I really do not have time to entertain you. You may have the run of the house, but do not break anything, and refrain from mucking about with items that aren't yours. 2 rules Jane seems incapable of following. And before I forget, our kitchen is being remodeled, so our dining situation is rather unorthodox. I've made arrangements with a local restaurant to deliver meals to us. There should be a programmed number for them on the phone
about a lot of
Feel
stuff.
free to order whatever you'd like.
I spoke with Mr. Tucker at the Boar's Head pub, but frankly, I'm not at all sure what he said.
Yes, his language is quite colourful, isn't it? He's Cockney, you see. My brother Alan and I loved to make up Cockney rhymes when we were young. We'd drive our governess quite batty. Haven't got a pot of glue, haven't got a pot of glue. Ha! How we teased her.
Pot of glue?
A clue, dear. Haven't got a clue. Rhymes with glue, you see.
The picture book in Jane's room. Do you know much about its history?
My brother Alan found it somewhere in the house. He was quite fascinated by it, but he'd never let me look at it.
I'm concerned about that thing I saw outside.
It was purely your imagination, unless you saw a stray dog. But I will not countenance any histrionics about this issue. We have enough to worry about with Linda. And please do not get any ideas about going outside to investigate. I do not want you tracking mud all over this house.
This place must have quite a history. Where can I learn more?
Go see Nigel in the library. He's going to write a book about our family history.
What was your brother Alan like?
He was quite remarkable. He taught linguistics and computer science and won many prestigious awards. He loved games, especially pranks, and was forever tinkering with this and that. I do miss him sometimes. But now he's gone. He died a month after my husband passed away. And ever since I've been here all alone. Until Hugh came back from the United States, that is.
'Cause what? Why?
Sorry about that.
Can you tell me about Lulu?
Lulu is a very old parrot. She must be over 80 years old. Please be very careful with her, especially if you feed her. Parrots have quite delicate constitutions, you know.
This conservatory is very beautiful. But why isn't there any water in the well?
I'm not quite sure. We never really used it, but it was always full of water. That is until my brother died. And
I'm
then
sorry about
it
that.
just
My brother
dried
didn't
up.
get the point.
Most of these plants were brought over by my grandfather. He was quite the
ignore him.
adventurer. I remember when he brought back Lulu from the Amazon. At first, Mother wouldn't allow us to play with it because it had picked up too many unsuitable words from sailors. But it gradually learned proper manners.
Do you know what the password is for the computer in the library?
No, that was my brother's toy.
I'd like to play the card machine in the Great Hall.